everyone, this is Chloe Hartung. So the first assignment that I'm going to analyze is an interactive lab that I do with my students. So over here you can see this is the worksheet that I have them fill out as they're completing the lab. So in the beginning there's this intro section and I ask them to do some terms that are all available here on the interactive lab that they can read through. And then after that, they're going to get to this next section. So you can see I have headings. So those are some things that are helpful. I have that before starting so they know what to do before they move on to the next section. And after they go through this beginning background section, they're going to click on Continue to Interactive, where they'll get to this interactive lab. So I think this is both successful and has some things that are less successful. So definitely successful things. The book mentions interactive labs as an alternative to simulate those hands-on experiences in an online classroom. So this is definitely helpful in that regard. It also, I think, meets the guidelines for most of Guideline 3 for the UDLs on comprehension. It definitely activates background knowledge through that beginning paragraph, and it highlights patterns and big ideas by having students recognize them on their own. So as they go through filling out this data table, they are observing what the sun looks like compared to the earth in each month. So they are analyzing that on their own. They're collecting that data by themselves. And it also follows 3.3, so it's guiding information processing by having students organize their info in that data table. It's maximizing transfer and generalization, and that also works through the use of the data table, and it's having them develop self-assessment and reflection through these conclusion questions after the data table. So they are using these questions to help them analyze that data table to make sure that they're understanding everything they need to understand about light and angles and temperature. And that's also less successful in some regards. I do have things bolded and underlined, which is helpful, especially when I'm trying to make a point like, why isn't Melbourne, Australia the coldest month? Why isn't that month the same as Chicago? And you can see that they're also analyzing different things. So it's having them go back into the data table and asking them, why does that happen? Why do you think this is going on? What do you think is happening? But it's definitely less successful as far as assistive technology goes. It doesn't offer sound as an option here in this interactive. And also, it doesn't offer any alternatives for audio or visual. So there's really no way to offer that sound using this online interactive activity. And I could do that through my Google Doc, which is the worksheet that I usually print and have them use that so they can look at this on their laptops at the same time that they're working on this. So I could make an assessment on this through that audio perception, but I could not do it with the current interactive lab that I'm using. So that would be something that I would have to change.